Anybody out there? Anybody? Huh? All right. This is Sifu David Akrish. Whoops. Getting beat up by the Mook Jong. And this is another installment of the 20 key principles of the Mook Jong. And I think we're on number 18. Yes. I'm pretty sure. I should know. Anyways, this is where tradition becomes evolution. This is for close quarter combat, reality. There's a green dot on me. And where we have rapid conflict resolution training. So it's been a while. Hey everyone, hello. And the weather's dropped. It drops over like literally in a day. Within a day, it drops like 20 degrees, 30 degrees. So it's like almost, it's in the low 30s here in Albuquerque. And but so what? We always train. You know, we never. And it's outside training, so reality training. A couple things. Things have been pretty darn good, and I've been really looking forward to making these last few videos on the 20 key principles, and then so only a couple left. I'm trying to get those done within a few days, and then what's next? And I'm going to go over a 3-part series on Tiger. Then I'm already set up for actually a training module series on Filipino martial arts and single stick. But before that, I'm going to talk about why train with weapons, which is really what I do mostly, even though I've been doing so much of everything right now on empty hand and with the Wing Chun school, which is just a part of the half of the school, which is called street combat, which is the other part is the Filipino martial arts with weapon training. So, but the empty hand training is with the doing Wing Chun and working on the Mook Jong and all that, and all the training apparatuses that we have, and so which is super fun and reality based. And so I know I've said this before. I'm going to say it again. I've actually had to. Oh, I hate doing this, but I subscribe and I think, oh, this channel's cool, and then I see just non-reality, goofy stuff. What do I call it? Theoretical. A lot of it, honestly, has been Wing Chun channels, and it's just theoretical stuff. And I'm like, okay, if you're going to do theoretical stuff, which is cool, if you explain that in the beginning, then you go, okay. That's what this is. It's just, this is, if somebody's still, or they're a zombie, or they're a statue, or whatever, or frozen, or whatever it is, then you can do these things as like, oh, well, that's cool, and that's how that intercepts and that moves, but nobody explains that. I don't understand. And then it's always against someone in the school who's doing the same exact thing, and so maybe you should try going against some more, I don't like this term, pressure or whatever, but against something maybe a little more-ish realistic on how some person might move or not move or whatever, or moving at you. But so anyways, it's really disappointing because I keep finding things I like and then I don't like. And yeah, we all have an opinion. I have one too, and I'm just being honest. So it's really unfortunate. So I'm trying to put things out there and even like stimulate the idea of and maybe someone on one of those channels will go, hey, look at this chump. Oh, look what he's saying. Oh, maybe I should do that. I go, okay, this is just theoretical. And in a perfect world where somebody's just giving you what you want so you can look cool, but it's not realistic. And so it just isn't. And so much of my training and my students and what I'm teaching is about just the idea of maybe learning how to take pain and give pain, how someone might really actually move at you, the many other ways other than someone just standing there like with just their hands out. So it just bothers me. So anyways, okay, so that's my rant. Let's get into this. So this is something, a lot of the key principles are something that's more in your mind. And so if you're not thinking that, like thinking a certain way within the training that you're doing, then the mind's very powerful, and the inner spirit of what you're doing. So this is one of those. Even though I could kind of say, well, that kind of show it in a physical way, but it's more of a mental way. And so this installment is on forward pressure and forward energy. So a lot of times I see people, and I think I've set this up all right, even though here's the low arm, just sort of standing and doing their cool thing, and looking super cool or whatever. But I don't know, it doesn't look like they're actually putting their energy into, and this actually flows into one of my other videos, which I like, which is about directional intent. So a couple of people didn't like it. I'm like, whatever. And I don't know why. I wish they would tell me why they didn't like it, because I think it's really important. If I'm just striking sideways, it could look like the same, but my energy is actually moving forward. Or in my mind, I'm sending the energy forward. And this is, in closing, I guess if you took those two and kind of combined them together with being a little bit further out and then learning how to close, just even with a quick footwork, is to learn how to close, which you can do with the Mook Jong. It isn't always just standing still and doing the thing. So I guess a lot of the ideas is about not just being still, but sending energy with your hands a certain direction, downward, forward. You could go back and look at that one. Or closing, where you're a little bit out and you're moving in and moving in. And on this one, it's pressure, keeping the idea of engagement, but pressure forward. And in the Japanese, it's called seme, which is, I've seen different translations, but one of them is pressure, is keep the pressure forward when you're doing kendo. And so the pressure on your opponent. And I like that a lot. And so much of it, kendo, if you watch it, is moving forward. There's some things I don't like about it, like running by and different things. I don't know. That's that. But who cares? But the idea of keeping. So if I'm just going like this, it's cool when I'm doing something and I'm really training, pain and how to give pain and all that. But this is a different idea. This is the idea I'm thinking that I'm actually pressuring or moving forward into my opponent. And once again, maybe that's in law systems, sure it is, but it really is in the Chinese systems, and really of the Wing Chun is to pressure, to move forward, to send forward energy out. And so whether it's through your mind, through your body, through believe in chi or ki, through your arms, just with your intent, I'm thinking that I'm actually not just knocking something or hitting it, but moving in a forward, pressurized idea of forward. So is it all the time when I do training on here? No, it's not. But it sort of is in the back of my mind all the time. And because sometimes I want to do something else. So I'm making the decision that maybe I'm not just doing forward pressure. But if you don't ever make that decision and never do it, I don't know, maybe you should. And so I never tell people this isn't a lesson. This is just ideas for you to go, oh, maybe I should do that. Oh, maybe that's stupid. I don't want to do that. It's not my decision, because I'm not your teacher. I'm just here feeding information. Kind of, I don't want to say like the news, because that's not information. That's disinformation. So this is my information on, instead of just standing still, but never, and then saying, okay, then I do a punch. Okay, that's fine, but that's not what I'm saying. So the punch may be moving forward, but are you actually feeling as if you're putting a pressure, like I said, is forward energy or pressure on the Mook Jong, as if it's an opponent, as if this is something that you're doing. It's not even physically moving. I mean, you could if you want to lean in a little bit or step in and jam, whatever. That's fine. That's all part of the training. But it's like I said from the very beginning, it's more of a conscious decision or awareness of what you're doing. So a lot of stuff I'm talking about is it's in here, or in your heart, in your spirit, in your kidneys, or in your liver, which a lot of things come from. It sounds kind of funny, but that's where it's coming from. So am I jamming? Am I moving forward? My friend used to call it jamming. So I'm jamming in, I'm pushing in. I'm not just knocking sideways. I'm not just hitting this thing and going, okay, look, I'm doing this. Yay. I'm actually here. That I was actually pressuring forward, pushing the energy forward. Because that is just a huge part of winning, of taking care of something, of not just being up, almost like you're up and down and something happens and it's happening maybe in front of you or laterally, or horizontally, but this is actually forward. I guess you could say forward, horizontal. Well, that's not a way to say it, but is that you're laterally moving forward, or in your mind, I'm moving forward. I'm causing. I don't want to say aggression, but sure, why not? It's an aggressive move to move into somebody's space. And to me, this is life and death stuff. So it's like, it's a time where you don't really have time to think about it. It's something that you train in a certain way and you just do it. And so that's what I'm talking about here, is that pressure, that courage, that forward energy, that aggression. And it's kind of I don't want to say what animal comes in. It doesn't matter because it's in every animal. And I think I've talked about just like a dog who really doesn't think, and it's a guard dog, and you get near it and it just goes forward. It doesn't think about it. It's putting that forward energy, that forward aggression. And so that's what this is. That's what today's talk is about. So once again, not just standing still and doing your form or whatever you're doing. No, but actually thinking about, I am putting energy, life force, my thoughts, my intention into a forward movement. This is huge. At least in my mind it is, maybe to other people it's not, but to me it's a really, really, really important part of combat training, close quarter combat. And so do you always run into the fire, run into the whatever it is? No, but but it's just an aspect of the training. It's so if you don't ever do it, you probably never will. It's kind of like if you don't ever train with a weapon, you're always going to think fist. You're going to think empty hand. You just are. But when you train with a weapon and you train in empty hand, and then you start having multiple kind of thoughts, like, do I pull a weapon, or do I go empty hand, or do I just slap something out of the way, or run away, or all the stuff that you can go on forever on that. Talk it out. A lot of times, actually, when people come up to me where we live, and there's a lot of people that are, they're whatever, they're coming up, and I don't want them near it, so I'll just put my hand out. It's interesting. It's like a non-verbal, I guess you could say, forward energy, putting something else non-verbal, and even my hand going out like and or I'll just shake my head, and it's funny, they'll go away and not bother me, and so if that's the decision I'm making with a certain person, and it works really well. That's a whole kind of another story, but not really. It's the same thing. It's just you're just going don't even, and that hand moving forward when someone's far enough away, because I don't believe in putting your hand out when someone's, that's whole nother video. A lot of people say, do that, and it's like, no, you're just giving something, you're putting a target, and that could be very aggressive too. Someone might see that as an aggressive move. So that's my opinion on that. But in a nutshell, but if somebody's far away, there's time for you, and they're not going to close on you, just put your hand down and go. That's a forward energy thing. Even in my mind, I'm kind of putting a forward energy thought out. or pressure out of like a wave energy of like, you know, just I'm in a bad mood. Don't talk to me. Don't come over here. Or I don't like the way you look, and you know, you never know, because you don't know about anybody with anything. So anything can happen, and you know, this is about protecting yourself and your family. So live another day, because bad stuff does happen. I mean, I hate to say it, but it's a reality of the world. It's not something you have to dwell on and be paranoid about, but you could be cautious about it. And as I would say, this is my biggest belief: just train for it, because well, it's just because that's something I think that would someday benefit you. And if not, you're training, you're doing something good for your body, for your mind, for your spirit. You feel good about yourself. Maybe even your energy is kind of potent, so you're warding people off who go, you know, like I'm putting off a certain aura or vibe that maybe I won't mess with that person. So anyways, this is kind of weird with the green thing. I'm sorry. But anyways, that's today's video. And the next one is, I do remember, is number 19 is connectivity. And again, that's kind of a mental one. And then the last one is, sometimes I keep going over anyways, and maybe I might change it or add something to it, but the last one is mental intent. No, we're just going to stay on that. So, and then I'm going to do the tiger, a series of 3 parts of just tiger movements on the Mook Jong, actually. And then I'll get into just from a beginner training with, well, talk about why weapon training, then a certain one, and the reality of using different ways of training with weapons, and then through the Filipino martial art ideas, and then actually, then there's probably going to be 10 parts on just on self, I guess we'll call it just self-defense combat, but using a weapon, and then so that'll be it. So that's going to be something interesting. So that one will be a little bit more of me being instructing in a sense. I still don't see it that way, but maybe more than this. This isn't instructing. This is just giving ideas, and that's about it tonight. Oh, happy Halloween! It's Halloween evening, and we're getting cute little kids and giving them crappy candy, so their brains are fried. But you know, that's what they want. So that's it. I will be back with number 19, which excuse me, is going to be on connectivity. So what does that even mean? Well, we'll find out. All right, have a nice evening. Oh, please subscribe. I have all kinds of stuff that I on Amazon that's below, and if you're interested in any of that, I'm going to add more and go over some reviews of a lot of the weapons that I train with, training weapons, and maybe some live weapons, some of the knives that I like, and even I felt more comfortable about putting the Mook Jong for sale. Actually, someone's going to buy one. They told me, and I'm like, that's cool. So this one, they want it. So I think that I can feel a little more comfortable about Amazon, because I bought this on eBay, but with Amazon sending the right one, and so it all, you know, being copacetic and all that. Anyways, train hard, take care of yourself, take care of your family, take care of your dogs and cats and all your little animals, and may love and peace be with you, and I will see you next time. Oh, I haven't heard from anybody. Please write something. You know, I mean, neutral, or just let me know that you like what I'm talking about and you're comfortable with it. And so, and all the new subscribers, cool to you, peace to you. And that's about it. Okay, I'm going to train in the cold, and I will see you really soon. Bye-bye.